So much for that 9 o'clock start, huh? Woo-wee! All right, so good morning, guys. What a wonderful ride it's been. We're on week 5 of what I call Sunday sermons. And just to be clear, like I am every week, this is not a religious-based thing here. So this isn't. This is not what that is. What this is, personally, is an opportunity. A couple of parts that drove this. Personally, for me, I was going through a season, still going through a season that maybe a lot of us are also. Going through a season of healing, if you will. And as I've been going through this season of healing, I picked up on the fact that a lot of people are too. And so for me, personally, part of doing these is it's a healing process for me. Going through some things, and this is what I can say that maybe is about as spiritual as I'll get probably today, is I was at a church service one time. There's a pastor named Wayne Cordero. He pastors a church in Hawaii. He came and spoke, and he said something that I'll never forget. He says, you know, the enemy, his greatest tool that he uses is not destruction, right? Because when we think about, you know, there's a song playing right now, Angels or Devils. The Bible talks a lot about God and the devil. We grow up watching cartoons, right, where there's the little angel and there's a little devil on the shoulder. And so we have this kind of thing with the devil that he's out to destroy you. That he's out to cause destruction in your life, that he's out to destroy people's lives, he's out to destroy marriages, which I believe he has done that in my marriage. That's just what the enemy does. He comes and tries to destroy things, and we perceive him that way, that he just wants to destroy. But Wayne Cordero says something really critical. He says, the greatest tool the enemy uses is not destruction, it's distraction. Why would he want to come? Obviously, the distraction, I think, leads to destruction. When I look at my marriage, I was concentrated on other things. I was being distracted. Business, trying to build a business, trying to generate clients, trying to generate leads, trying to do that. And kept saying to Julie, well, we'll get to the other stuff later. Let me work on this. And that doesn't work. And so he distracts. He distracts the heck out of you. Obviously, I'm in my head right now. But yeah, think about it. Why would he want to just destroy your life so fast when he can cause you to live your whole life completely distracted? Well, then the question you have to ask is, well, distracted from what? And one of the things that enemy, that devil, has distracted me from for over 15 years is being a pastor. And I don't know if doing these Sunday sermons for the last few weeks or I don't know what that's about from that standpoint. But if this is the way that God is going to use me to step away from the distraction life that the enemy has caused in me and all the turmoil and all the destruction that comes with it, if this is a way for God to use me to get out of distraction and back into a life of purpose, then I'm going to do it. Because the way he distracts me, and like I talked about, I think the first week, is he disqualifies you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today because, the mindset is everything. Our language that we use, I've talked about this before, our language influences our emotions, and our emotions influence our behavior. So let's talk about the source of language. Apologize my throat, man. I had such a wonderful time. Shout out to my brother Joe. It was his birthday yesterday, and got to hang out with my brother, got to hang out with my cousins. Shout out to Chewy, Capetillo. Man, I love you so much, man. It's so wonderful to have you and Ronnie back in my life. Got to hang out with my cousin Gords, Weech. So typical Latinos, everybody's got a nickname. So let's talk about those mindsets real quick. The mindset is this. Let me get some energy up here. So the mindsets, as you noticed on the title, there's 3 mindsets, okay? They say, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and small minds discuss people. Now, for me personally, the way through this healing process to get out of the destruction or out of the distraction that the enemy placed in my life and is probably placing in your life also, if you feel that way, is what am I being distracted from? Trust me, if you're struggling in your relationship right now, if you're struggling in other areas of life, oftentimes it's because we're not activated into our purpose. We're being distracted from something, and the less that you go by, the more days that go by, and you invest less energy trying to understand what the life it is that you're being distracted from, then things will continue to suffer. Relationships will continue to suffer. Marriages will continue to suffer. Your attitude in the workplace will continue to suffer. Not being able to be a good enough parent. If you're feeling insufficient as a parent, a lot of it is that we're just being distracted. So I want us collectively to think about that today. What am I being distracted from? And how do we get ourselves back activated into our purpose? Well, it starts with conversations, and who you surround yourself with is key. So it's the 3 mindsets, and let's just talk really briefly about those, and we're cutting this baby short so you can enjoy your Sunday and get activated in purpose. So what is great? What small minds? I grew up with small-minded people and small-minded conversations. Okay? Where all day long we talked about people. Did you hear about so-and-so? Oh my God. Dude, she's never, oh my God. Oh man, the other day, what's his face was, just check yourself on that. If you could make up a statistic, if you could put a number, a percentage to the amount of time and the amount of conversations that you're engaged in on a daily basis where the content is people, well, there's your first distraction. Because the mental momentum that builds when you engage in conversations about people, does it feel fun? I think talking about people and gossiping and doing those things, it's kind of like drug use, where when you first start, it's like, oh my gosh, this feels awesome. And then it just turns into something that you weren't prepared for, right? When I think about conversations with people, it is very hard. It's a very hard thing to do when somebody walks up to you and says, did you hear what happened the other day to so-and-so? It's very hard to say, no, I did not, and I'm not going to have that conversation with you. Come on. When somebody says that, you're kind of like, whoa, even in the best way, you say, all right, no, man, I didn't. What happened? And it just starts. It's a little seed that gets planted. Now, is it okay to do that once in a while? Yeah, because you want to be informed. You care about people. You want to know about people. But knowing and caring and being helpful to people is very different than spending the day talking about them. Small minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events. Oh man, I'm looking forward to going to this place, and I'm looking forward to that concert. Did you hear about the? Oh yeah, we got to go to the concert. Oh yeah. Did you hear what happened right now? What's happening with North Korea and did you hear a combination of people and events? Did you hear about the Trump and this and that? I mean, if you look at the news right now, it's dominated by people and events. It is the events and the people that are driving division into this country. It is the guy that's either kneeling or the guy that's standing for the flag. I mean, it's just events and people are driving this country crazy, are driving this country divided. Events. We look for people to talk to and talk about and discuss events that are just problematic, that are negative, and that are driving you down. So I know you can see what I see, and I know you can hear what I'm saying. Events. Right now, everything is event related. When you're watching the news all day long, that's events. They're just feeding you events with a bunch of garbage that's not intended to make you a better dad, not intended to make you a better mom. It's not intended to create a better home environment. It's not even intended to make you a better parent. You would be, excuse my language, but you would be stupid. You would be stupid to believe that news doesn't have a purpose. You'd be stupid to believe that. There isn't an office, there isn't a coordinating session happening in the background. So I don't know, just show whatever you want. And they just happen to stumble upon a bunch of bad news every day. It's a strategic effort. It's to distract the hell out of you. It's to just distract you and away from being attentive to things that matter. Small minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events. And here's what great minds do. Great minds discuss ideas. So what does that look like? Okay, I have an idea. Right now I have an idea that maybe I should pay the $3 a month for Spotify so that you don't have to hear commercials in the background. I had an idea to start doing these Facebook Live videos in hopes that people can be impacted in a time where people are suffering. See, I don't like what I went through in my previous relationship. I don't like that. And I'm not going to take full responsibility for what didn't work because, like I said, I know that the enemy was out to do some damage. And congratulations, you bastard, it worked. But I have an idea to start doing these videos, and so I activated it. Activated myself into it. When I surround myself with friends, most of the friends that I hang out with, we sit down and we talk about ideas. We talk about ideas. You know, I'm still pushing forward because everybody's got an idea for an app these days, right? So do I. So I'm trying to activate myself into that. I had an idea to start a business, and so I just started it. I have ideas on how to grow it. I have ideas on how to shift my website around a little bit. But I surround myself with people who generate ideas. And there's so much positivity and energy that comes from ideas. Some people the people who contact me for coaching or for trainings or for speaking, it starts with an idea. And they interact with me and say, well, here's an idea I have. What are your thoughts or what's your ideas? And I respond back and based on our ideas, we get work done. You know, I have ideas when I'm parenting my son. I have ideas all day long. And I don't want to talk to my son about events that are happening in this world today. Not because I don't want him to not be informed. But if that type of news, those events that they're showing right now, have the ability to drive people crazy, like adults crazy, like it has been, especially the last few months, how much more toxic is it for kids? I don't want to make son around that crap. And I don't want to sit around with my son and talk about people all day long. I want to talk about ideas. I want to talk about things that we can do together, things that he can, ideas, things that he can be when he's older. I want to talk about ideas of books and right now I'm writing a book, by the way, so I haven't talked a lot about that either, but I have a book that I've been writing. It's called Being, and what you will find is a lot of these ideas that I talk about in these videos are actually either going into the book or have been birthed from the book. And so stay tuned for that. It's called Being, B-E-I-N-G. And so that's been a project that I started since the beginning of the year. But guys, think about this today. Okay? Great minds discuss ideas. What ideas do you have? That is the source that pushes us out of the distracted lifestyle and into a life of purpose. What ideas do you have? Do you have, guys, listen to me, guys, if you're in a relationship, especially married or just in a relationship, what ideas do you have for the next month in your marriage? What ideas do you have that are not normal that you want to bring into your relationship? What are the ideas you have of what you want to be like as a father in the next year? See, ideas push us out of the distracted lifestyle, which ultimately the distraction leads to destruction. The greatest tool the enemy uses is not destruction, it's distraction. So you have to spend time today figuring out, what am I being distracted from? And what's it costing? You know? So think about that today. Kept this video short. I'm committing to it. It's hard once I start chatting, but I wanted to stay focused and clear today. So guys, have a wonderful day. Go Cowboys. And see you next Sunday. Peace.